I knew you were studying English, but I'm still amazed that you're this proficient at it. One could say it's a perfect way to avoid people borrowing my collection. She says it in jest, but I am a little disappointed. Having all these books around me with no way of reading them feels like one big tease. Oh, is that like foreshadowing this entire playthrough with Lily? Hanako giggles quietly as I reach over the closest pile, plucking the topmost book with only a cursory glance. Death on the Nile, in large letters on the cover, is the only printed text to be seen. Good luck. I sit down for a while with the book open on my lap as Lily and Hanako talk. Try as I might to feel out the dots of braille printed on each page, they seem to blend into one another and become indistinct. I thought this would be a lot easier than it actually is. With some practice, though, I could see someone with a better sense of touching than mine managing to read at a pretty fast speed. Noticing a silence that had probably begun earlier, I look up from the dotted pages to see Lily smiling as Hanako sips another cup of tea. Is something wrong? Quite the opposite. Your curiosity is quite endearing. I am inordinately pleased by the praise, though I can feel my cheeks heating up a little. Thanks, but I don't know how else I could act. To be honest, I wasn't altogether sure of how you saw us, since you were a new transfer student from another school. If you pitied us, I would have been quite offended. There's a certain edge to Lily's voice, one that I'd quite possibly place as pride. Glancing over to Hanako, she seems even more subdued than usual, looking towards Lily rather than me. Well, no, but I wouldn't worry about that. Considering the position I found myself in, I'm perhaps the last person who should be dispensing pity on others. My parents' first interactions with me after my heart attack, I wouldn't want to see that kind of face. I wouldn't want anyone to see that kind of face. I catch myself from going any further, but not soon enough. Both of the girls seem to be put off, Lily especially. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gone that far. An awkward silence reigns for a few beats, thankfully ended as Lily's head perks up in a gesture I've come to easily recognize. Hear something? The door. Everyone looks towards it, trusting in Lily's senses. True enough, the door handle shudders and turns, a flash of yellow and black slipping through. Akira Satao is in the house. Happy birthday, Hanako. Thank you. Akira takes a seat at the table as she plops her her tall bag inside her. Beside her. She has her trademark boisterous air about her, making no small deal of her entrance. Hanako clutches her gown to steady herself, but doesn't appear too shaken after she settles down. I guess she must have met Akira before. Not a huge surprise given how close Akira and Lily are. Akira doesn't seem to be the least bit put off by Hanako's scarring, despite its prominence, but she also doesn't pull any punches in how she acts despite Hanako's shy nature. I thought you said you had to work, Akira. Did you manage to get off for a while? Kinda. I feel bad about ditching the guys out doing overtime, so I gotta get back soon. But I felt bad about not coming to your cute little Hanako's birthday too. So for now I'm here. She grins widely at Hanako, who flowers into a full blush as she pins her eyes downwards onto her lap. Her mouth seems to widen and retract over and over, as if she was trying to suppress a smile out of embarrassment. It's oh my gosh. It's a little strange how her reaction seems to be more immediate and forceful than when she's embarrassed by the way she looks. All she manages to give in return is a tiny nod, failing to hide her appreciation to any greater extent. Not that many people give her positive attention, I suppose. It makes me respect how well Akira can handle her, making her so happy compared to what little I could do. Now then, before I go, she reaches into the bag beside her and grandly displays its contents. Oh, I remember this. Out comes 2 large glass bottles, both with long French names on the labels. Hanako's expression is an odd mix of surprise and curiosity, and I suspect mine's no different. Lily, not seeing the proceedings, is oblivious to what's going on. Akira, this isn't... What is it? Wine. One red, one white. Akira, that's... Relax, relax. It's not like Shizune's here to scold you. Lily has a point. That's not exactly allowed on campus. Or anywhere, really. We're still short of the legal drinking age, remember? Rich words for someone practically drooling as they examine a bottle. She got me there. I am genuinely interested in trying some, even just a little. While Hanako may not be handling one herself, her look does tell that she's far from opposed to the notion as well. Lily rubs her forehead, giving up the fight that she knows Akira would win due to simply not caring enough for those funny rules and regulations. Just don't breathe a word of this to anyone in the school, please. I beg of you. I'm not stupid, don't worry. That said, I gotta get back to work pretty soon. So soon, but you only just arrived. Sorry, Lily. Good to see you two again, though. And you, Hisao. See you later, then. Goodbye, Akira. She levers herself up with a grunt and waltzes out of the room, leaving us alone with the two items on the table. Interesting. Lily gives a nervous giggle at her sister's antics as Hanako takes a wine bottle. So, what do you think, Lily? She rests her elbow on the table and pinches the bridge of her nose, thinking things through. She really doesn't seem to be able to keep up with her sister. Well, it's already here. We may as well have some. How are they going to dispose of it? Is my question. No sooner than she does say that I take a quick glance around the room for glasses. A small groan above me reminds me that Lily retired to rest on her bed. Whoa, what? Reminds me that Lily retired to rest on her bed for a bit a few minutes ago. Almost completely drained of energy, I managed to stand up and drag myself to the side of the bed, sitting down and leaning my back against it. Good God. Ugh. Lily's groan sounds lifeless. Too much to drink? My head hurts. Yeah, too much to drink. I rest my head back and idly stare at the ceiling. What an unmitigated disaster. Like proper idiots, we all drank the night away, with one glass after another. Hanako simply fell to the side asleep, and it's a miracle that I don't feel as ill as Lily. Hey, Hisao, I'm sorry about today. I didn't think this would happen. It's fine, Lily. To tell the truth, I had a lot of fun today. Really? Mm-hmm. I think Hanako did too. No, she certainly did. There's a short silence before another groan resounds from the supine Lily. You okay? As you said, I just drank too much. What's the time? The time, it's... I quickly look at my wristwatch. Its numerals barely legible in the gloom. About midnight. Curfew's in effect then. Yeah, I guess as much. We'll all have to sleep here for tonight. As soon as I say it, I hear the sheets moving as Lily starts to sit up. Hanako. Oh no, go back to sleep. Don't try to get up. I skipped that a bit. That's how I have to. You're in worse shape than me by any stretch. Get some rest. But what about... I'll grab some spare blankets and put them over her. Don't worry. As I give a deep yawn and stand to retrieve them, I hear her lie back down with a soft thud. Thank you, Hisao. No problem. It's the least I can do. You look outright wasted. I'm not wasted, just a little bit tired. She starts pouting, a slight slur beginning to distort her words as the alcohol takes hold of her again. I grab a couple of blankets rolled up at the end of her bed. Quietly walking over to Hanako, I carefully lay the blanket over her peacefully sleeping figure, making sure not to wake her up. The thick smell of alcohol coming off her breath makes me doubt she'd wake up no matter what I did, though. Don't say that. I stand and take one last measure of the room. 2 girls, both very drunk, and 1 guy sleeping overnight with them in the female student's dorm. What a scandal if that'd be if it broke out. As I move to sit back down at the side of the bed, I steal one last glance at Lily. Her sprawling, disheveled figure lies resting peacefully, slightly turned to the side. I crouch down to get a better look. That's kind of creepy, but I'm gonna show the image anyway. Wait. Current scene, unidentified drinking object? Wow. Wait. Okay, I thought I saw something move. Sorry. Her white skin blends in with the white pillow of the bed. A look of slumber-born peacefulness on her face. Usually she seems so confident and forward, always there and always caring for Hanako. Now, though, she seems painfully delicate. I think back to Hanako's presence. I thought it would be a nice occasion for her, but I'd hardly expect it to be so moving. One birthday after another, year after year. Just she and Lily, all alone. I guess it wasn't just the present she liked. Resigning myself to an uncomfortable sleep, I sit down at the side of the bed once again and rest my tired arms beside me. Hey, Hisao? Lily's voice is so quiet I can barely hear it. She must be on the verge of sleep. Yeah? Thank you. Thank you. For what? For being here. That's okay. As I hear a deep breath, it's obvious Lily's gone to sleep. Is it raining outside? Oh jeez, it got pitch black outside. How long have I been recording? A while. Wow, okay. A lot longer than I thought I was. Hisao? Hisao, are you? The soft, barely audible lingering in my ears slowly wakes me. I wish I could be awoken like this more often. With a mumble, I slowly open my... Oh, hello. Whoa, ah! Taken by surprise at the face hovering curiously mere millimeters from mine, I make our heads collide with a harsh thud. The impact of our foreheads causes both of us to fall backwards and yelp in pain. Lily's sounding more like a squeak toy than a person. Ow, ow, ow. I slowly rub my forehead with one hand, supporting myself with the other. Lily lies a few feet ahead doing just the same, her face obviously pained. Sorry, your face was kinda close and I acted on reflex. You okay? My head. It seems she's not actually okay. Come to think of it, I doubt that the impact alone is what causing her head so much pain. Hangover? You drank a fair bit last night. She silently nods in confirmation as I lever myself up. I offer a hand to her to help her back onto her feet. Glancing behind her, I find that Hanako's still fast asleep. It's not fair, I only drank as much as you did. That's very different from what I remember. And anyway, girls have a lower tolerance than men. That doesn't help. Fine, I'll get you a glass of water. Just be careful not to trip over Hanako. As I rub the sleep out of my eyes, or at least some of it, I walk to the counter. Tending to someone with a hangover isn't the way I'd like to spend a morning. It only takes a few seconds for the glass to fill, the clear water reflecting the sliver of light that makes it through the thin curtains. It looks like Lily's taking a seat on the side of the bed. I walk over to her while taking care to step over the peacefully sleeping Hanako and place the glass into her outstretched hands. Thank you. No problem. I take a seat next to her, the soft bed having a surprised amount of give. She drinks slowly and methodically. A long silence passes with only Hanako's soft breathing to be heard. With some measure of guilt, I look at Lily's face and attempt to read her expressions. Her brow is furrowed, and she looks to be lost in thought. For a moment, I hesitate, but eventually place a hand on her shoulder in an attempt to reassure her. I didn't expect her to flinch rather noticeably at that, though. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Lily quickly shakes her head in a manner somewhat more violent than usual for her. She takes a long breath to steady herself before letting her head sink. I must look terrible right now. I moved to protest, but quickly realized it would be futile to do so. That said, I want her to open up more. If you want to talk about anything, I'm here. Lily gives a self-depreciating snort as to mock her own emotions. There's just a lot happening right now. I'm sorry for being so strange recently, especially back when we were in town. Even now I'm a bit confused about everything. Believe me, I know how that feels. She smiles wistfully, resting a cheek on the backs of her fingers. We're a couple of broken young fools, aren't we? Come on, don't say that. Come graduation, we'll be back out into the real world. The real world? Sometimes I surprise myself with the way I think about things. I guess the strange divorce feeling of Yamaku and the surrounding town compared to the outside world still hasn't become natural. Maybe it never will. It's strange in hindsight, being isolated from society like this doesn't feel as bad as it probably should. A wry grin on her face, Lily seems to share the same sense of amusement at the idea. Well, I want to continue, but my throat is killing me right now. It's 7:14. I just played 50 minutes. Jeez Louise. Okay.